Okay? Ang gagawin po natin ay isang intelektual na pagsusuri. This is not about ego or whatsoever. Meron po tayo kasing tanong, do we have sufficient evidence to prove that this Jesus of Nazareth is a true historical figure? Kasi, tingnan nyo, I have watched some videos about this topic, and there are some guys in TikTok, in Facebook, in YouTube who presented this kind of nonsense that they assume that Jesus allegedly did not exist. Pero is it? So, ngayon, pakinggan nyo. Kung hindi totoong Christianity, it deserves to be rejected, okay? But if it's true, it deserves everything. And then, bakit itong ating topic? Ang series na ito ay hindi lang basta-basta response video lang to, kundi syempre, pagpresenta ng malinaw na ebidensya na nagpapatunay na itong Jesus na ito ay hindi alamat. Okay? Oo. Nakatanggap tayo ng mga personal attacks even in the blue app as well. Grabe. I even challenge many people there to provide any sufficient evidence na nagpapatunay that Jesus did not exist allegedly. Kaso puro personal attacks na lang natatanggap ko dyan. Well done. Hindi po natin sasagutin yung kung ano-ano man dyan na may kinalaman sa personalan. But we're going to answer it clearly based on evidence. We will not respond based on emotion only. We'll respond logically. And if Christianity is false, you can reject it. But if Christianity is true, walang insultong makakabura ng truth. Ngayon, why I am quoting Illusion, the so-called king of logic, a mystic atheist. Meron po siyang mga claims like there is no historical Jesus and others. And we'll quote a video from him, yung mga 1-minute video niya ba. Kasi ito yung core ng position niya at maging ng mga atheist mythicists. Kasi hindi naman lahat ng mga atheist kasi hindi po lahat ng mga atheists, they agree on that kind of claim. Kasi may mga atheists na magsasabi sa'yo na Jesus did exist. Example, Bart Ehrman from the book Did Jesus Exist? Ito. Okay? Pasensya na po guys. Sinisipon ako. Anyway, ito yung core ng kanyang position. Hindi na ito bago kasi. Ito ay recycled arguments from mythicist movements. What else? Internet atheism and popular skepticism. But are these claims true or just an assertion with no evidence? And guys, hindi po natin ito basta i-dismiss. At ngayong panahon ng Pasko, lalo ngayong araw, Christmas Day, ang gandang pag-usapan yan. You see guys, ano yung standard ng kasaysayan? Hindi po ito about scientific proof, not absolute certainty. Ang pinaka-issue nito ay kung ano yung best explanation based on available evidence. Ito po kasing isa sa malaking problem sa mga skeptic friends natin. Okay? Ano yon? Hinahanap nila yung mga tulad ng video recording, DNA evidence, or sample, and birth certificate of Jesus. Pero hindi po ganyan ang history. Hindi ganyan gumagana ang history. If they are correct, then wala tayong video ni Julius Caesar na nag-cross doon sa Rubicon. Pero, walang seryosong history doon. Nagdududa na nangyari yun. Guys, history works by early sources, multiple attestation, enemy testimony, and embarrassing details, so to speak. At sa standard na yan, Jesus of Nazareth is one of the best attested figures of antiquity. At mahalaga to because you can see, although nakakonect yan sa resurrection, syempre magkoconnect yan kung si Jesus ay nag-exist talaga on history. If Christ has not been raised, our preaching is useless and so is your faith. Alright? Christianity is not blind faith. It is falsifiable. Kung mapatunayang walang Jesus, walang crucifixion, walang resurrection, then Christianity collapses. But here's the problem from skeptics. Hindi nila pinapabagsak ang Christianity based on actual evidence. Sinusubukan nila itong ibagsak gamit ang mockery. At yan po yung ginagawa ng mga skeptic friends natin. And I think you already noticed that. Kaya titingnan po natin ito hindi lamang tayo asa sa Bible verses lang. Okay? We will use logic, history, and scholarship. At hindi lamang mga Christian scholars ang ating i-quote, kundi maging mga atheists and agnostic historians mismo. Dahil itong irony, mas maraming atheist historians ang naniniwala na may historical Jesus kaysa sa mga internet skeptics. At ito po ang challenge po sa lahat, as you can see in this live stream. If Jesus really did not exist, prove it using history. Yan ang challenge ko po sa lahat, especially sa mga atheist friends natin. Sayang hindi po gising si Ilu. But that's okay. Sa mga Kristiyano na nakikinig po sa atin ngayon, faith does not fear question. And to every single person who are listening right now, lalo mga nakabisita po ngayon sa ating live, truth does not fear investigation. Ngayon, bago po tayo pupunta sa mismong pagrebat sa mga claims ng isa sa mga aktibo na nagsasabing Jesus did not exist. At by the way, alam nyo ba, when I challenge everyone that if Jesus did not exist, paano i-explain yung mga evidence like about the resurrection and some sort? This guy named Ilu called me OCD or Obsessed Christ Defender, which is very funny. But you know what? Maybe he's right in one way. But anyway, let's go to the positive case. Panahon na para itanong ang mas mahalagang tanong. Ano ba ang sinasabi ng history kung wala tayong bias? Mali bang Christianity about who Jesus really is? Kasi, guys, hindi hinahanap ng history ang CCTV footage, DNA test, birth certificate. Guys, ang hanapin natin dito, early sources, multiple attestation, enemy testimony, contextual credibility. Tingnan natin kung ano yung best explanation based on the available evidence. So, you see, kung titingnan natin yung minimal facts, makikita po natin na si Jesus talaga ay nag-exist on the 1st century, na siya ay Jewish teacher, na siya ay ipinako sa krus under Pontius Pilate. And it was accepted by Christian, Jewish, atheist, and agnostic scholars. That's not an evangelical claim. At hindi po ito Bible study conclusion. Academic consensus. Ngayon, ina-assume sa isa sa video ni Ilo, ina-assume nila maliraw yung tungkol sa consensus kasi daw mga Christian lang daw yung mga nandoon, mga scholars daw. However, hindi po lahat ng mga nag-agree na si Jesus ay nag-exist. Mga Kristiyano talaga. There are atheists and agnostics as well. Okay? At ano yung mga multiple independent sources na nagpapatunay dyan? We've got Paul. We've got the Synoptic Gospels, Matthew, Mark, and Luke. The Gospel of John. And syempre yung mga outside sources. No? Like Josephus, Tacitus, you name it. The more independent sources, the stronger the case. So, Jesus Christ is not just some sort of one source figure. And here's the most important. Ang ilan sa mga ito ay hostile witnesses. So, bakit siya binabanggit ng mga enemies if Jesus did not exist? Siyempre, kung titingnan natin yung timeline, from the crucifixion, AD 30, yung early creeds, kung saan nandun yung records about the resurrection, yung mga sulatin ni Apostle Paul, and siyempre, four Gospels. Ito ang pumapatay sa legend theory. Ang core belief about Jesus ay hindi po lumitaw after centuries. Lumitaw yan within years. So, there's no time for the legend to develop. Ngayon, kung gumagawa ka ng propaganda, hindi ka maglalagay ng kahihiyan ng kahit ng iyong founder. But the New Testament records are brutally honest, and then it has an anti-hero narrative. Hindi flattering sa sarili yan. Yan ang marka ng kasaysayan. Tingnan mo ilan sa mga embarrassing facts like the crucified Messiah, which is a Jewish scandal kasi noong panahon na yung first century, ang inaasahan ng mga Jews noon ay ang isang Messiah o Kristong victorious politically, nawawasak sa Roman Empire. Pero hindi. Itong Messiah na ito, he was crucified. Tapos ang mga disipulo ni Christ, duwag. Hindi po maitatatwa yung tungkol sa ginawa ni Apostle Peter na ikaila ang kanyang master. And syempre, on the resurrection, sino ang unang nakakita kay Christ na nabuhay muli? Mga babae, which is noong panahon yun, nung first century, hindi itinuturing na credible witness ang testimonya ng mga babae noon. Ito pa lang, yung embarrassing facts, it shows that it's true. At syempre, yung enemy testimony, unexpected confirmation. Meron po tayong non-Christian affirmations. Diba? Hindi sinasabi na makaaway nito na walang Jesus na exist. Ang sinasabi lamang nila, delikado ang influence niya. Hindi mo tinatanggihan ang isang taong hindi mo inaakalang nag-exist. And yes, we've got archaeology. Kinumpirma dyan yung existence ni Pontius Pilate, ang Nazareth, crucifixion practices, at ang first century Judea. You see guys, hindi pinapatunayan ng archaeology ang bawat individual, pero pinapatunayan nito ang mundo kung saan nag-exist si Jesus. At ang mundo ng gospel accounts ay eksaktong tumutugma sa first century Israel. At saka, you see, ito, naipresenta ko na yan kanina, di ba? Sa Jewish expectation, ilang sinasabi ko, victorious na Messiah ang in-expect nila, isang political liberator. Kaso nga lang guys, ang Christian claim, ang kanilang Mesiyas ay ipinako sa krus, namatay. Right? Namatay. At kahiya-hiya pa. Kasi, guys, ang kamatayan ni Christ sa cross ay nakakahiya noong panahon yun. Kaya sino ba ang mag-iimbento ng ganyang kwento? Sa Jewish worldview, ang pagkapako sa krus ay isang sumpa. So kung myth ito, iyan ang pinakamalabong myth o alamat pagdating dyan. Ngayon, how about the disciples factor? So, you see, itong mga disipulo ni Kristo, noong time na si Kristo ay ipinako sa krus at namatay roon, naduwag ang mga disipulo niya. Naduwag. Tumakas. Sobrang takot. However, after 40 to 50 days, lumabas sila doon. They proclaimed that Jesus had risen from the dead, and they were willing to die for it. May changes. mula sa pagiging duwag, naging mga matatapang na mga witnesses sila. Wait lang, iano ko lang sa isipan ko, medyo puyat lang kasi. They really preach the proclamation that Jesus had risen from the dead, and they were willing to lay their lives for that testimony. Hindi po yan gradual, hindi lamang po yung psychological. Napakalinaw yan, consistent. They did not die for that kind of opinion. They died because of the claim that they had seen Him alive again. At syempre, how about the Apostle Paul? We know for sure na itong si Apostle Paul, he is really an enemy on Christian faith. Naalala niyo si Stephen? Sinang-ayon na ni Apostle Paul yung martyrdom niya, yung martyrdom ni Stephen. At naglunsad siya ng malawakang persecution sa mga tagasunod ni Kristo. However, sudden conversion ang nangyari. Paul had seen the risen Jesus. Hindi po yan vision lang. Okay? At by the way, si Paul ang pinakamalakas na evidence against the legend theory. Nung time na yun, hindi po siya alay sa mga disciples. Siya ay kaaway na naging saksi o testigo, so to speak. Yeah. What explains all these facts? Hindi po siya legend kasi napaka-aga, so to speak. Hindi po yan hallucination. It does not explain group experiences like the reason Jesus had seen by more than 500 people. Hindi po yan conspiracy. Wala silang motibo na kung ano man, hindi po sila nag-recant, kumbaga. No? Sa history, hindi hinahanap ang perfect explanation, kundi best explanation. At sa puntong ito, hindi problema ang historical Jesus. He is the solution. So, why this matter? Di ba nabanggitan natin yun, 1 Corinthians 15:14, if Christ has not been raised, your faith is futile. Grabe yung challenge ni Apostle Paul dyan sa lahat. If you think na ng Christianity ay false, then tingnan po ang mga claims at evidence about Jesus and His resurrection. So, nakaugat sa kasaysayan, pwedeng i-test, pwedeng i-reject kung mali. Pero hindi ito pwedeng baliwalain sa maling paraan ang Christianity. Hindi mo po pwedeng baliwalain ang mga ebidensyang yan. Yan, if you assume that Jesus did not exist or that Jesus did not claim to be God or what, dapat mag-provide ka ng evidence, not just quoting Bible passages out of context or whatever. You see, mga kapatid, tingnan niyo po yung summary po ng ating diskusyon dito. Meron po tayong early sources, multiple independent attestations, enemy testimony, embarrassing details, and coherent historical context. Hindi mo kailangan maging Kristiyano para tanggapin yan. Kailangan mo lang maging honest na historiador. Conclusion? The historical Jesus is a fact of history. Ngayon, if Jesus is real, what would you do with Him? Kung si Jesus talaga ay umiiral, if He really claimed, hindi ko pa isinasalid dyan yung mga claims na siya ay Diyos, no? Na siya ay namatay at nabuhay muli. Yan ha. But what if the claims of Christianity are all true? If Jesus is real, what would you do to Him? What would you do with Him? Sino nga ba si Jesus para sa'yo? Lalong-lalo na po ngayong panahon ng Pasko. Remember that, my friends. Remember that, mga kaibigan, mga kapatid. Sige, let's start.
Was Jesus a liar, a lunatic, or Lord Himself? This is something you've probably heard before, but I'm asking it again because His identity determines our eternity. Now, it was never really a debate whether or not Jesus existed, but if you're still part of the few that don't believe he's real, I implore you to take a day off and to really look into it. We had no problem believing that Socrates, Alexander the Great, and Caesar existed, and these people, well, they lived before Jesus was recorded to be born. So then, once you figured it out and realized that Jesus isn't a figment of the Christian's imagination, then I shall ask again, was Jesus a liar, a lunatic, or Lord himself? Here's a hint. He did say, I and the Father are one.
Good day, Miss Beautiful. Well, I'm afraid to say you're not correct in saying that. Meron kasing growing acceptance sa mga scholars ngayon na Jesus probably did not exist. So still, kung magiging honest tayo, Jesus' existence is still up for debate. Kaya naman false dilemma to say na maalinman na siya ay lunatic, liar, o Lord.
Dilemma. False dilemma kanya. Parang ganitong claim. Meron kasing growing acceptance sa mga scholars ngayon na si Jesus ay hindi raw nag-exist. Still, kung maging honest daw tayo, Jesus' existence is still up for debate. Kaya false dilemma raw yung trilemma ni C.S. Lewis. Really? Okay. Ayan. 3 points. There is a growing acceptance among scholars that Jesus probably did not exist. Point 2. Jesus' existence is still up for debate. Therefore, the liar, lunatic, or Lord dilemma is false. But is the growing acceptance true? Is the existence of Jesus is still up for debate true? And then, yung C.S. Lewis trilemma na yan, nakadepende ba sa existence ni Jesus? Step by step yan ha. Before you conclude, let's check the premises. Kung mali ang premise na Jesus probably did not exist, whether Ilu and other fringe guys there likes it or not, babagsak ang buong argumento. What do mainstream scholars actually say? So, ang historical consensus, and by the way, hindi lamang po mga Christian scholars daw. Yun. Kasama na po dyan ang mga skeptic scholars is like this one. Okay? From Bart Ehrman himself. At anong historical consensus nila? Jesus of Nazareth existed. He was a Jewish teacher. He was crucified under Pontius Pilate. Yan ang critical point. So, yung claim ni Ilu na growing acceptance ay factually false. So, sa historical Jesus studies, the existence of Jesus is not controversial. Ang controversial ay kung sino siya, hindi kung nag-exist siya. So, guys, listen to this. You don't argue with internet skeptics. You check what the expert says. What experts say. At ang experts, overwhelmingly, they will tell you that Jesus really exists. At saka 99.9% of credentialed historians, atheists, agnostic, liberal, secular, Christian, you name it, they agree that Jesus was a historical figure. At sabi nga ni Bart Ehrman, virtually every scholar on the planet, regardless of religious belief, agrees that Jesus existed. So guys, if you want to claim growing consensus, kailangan ninyo ng peer-reviewed scholars, PhDs in ancient history, eksperto sa Second Temple Judaism, eksperto sa Greco-Roman sources, at aktual na academic publications. Hindi lang claim na walang saysay, so to speak. Sino itong mga mythicists? Reality check lang po tayo mga kapatid. Fringe position yan. Hindi po sila sa majority view. Madalas nasa blogs, YouTube, Facebook, even TikTok, hindi po journals. Ito kasi ang madalas na nililito ng mga skeptics. Pag maraming YouTube videos or TikTok, akala nila growing acceptance na. But in academia, walang major university department teaching Jesus did not exist. Walang mainstream history book na nagsasabing si Jesus ay myth lang. Kung Ilu, and to all of you who are watching this video, kung lumalago talaga ito, bakit walang seryosong scholarship dyan? fringe po ang naturang posisyon sa academic world. So the fact that someone believes something on the internet does not create a scholarly trend. Ngayon, yan bang historical Jesus topic ba ay hanggang ngayon up for debate pa rin? Guys, kung sa historical method lang naman mga kapatid, the debate is about what Jesus taught, what he claimed, and how to understand the resurrection. It is not about whether he existed. So may malaking difference between interpretation and existence. Like for example, walang debate about the existence of Julius Caesar, but may debate kung justified ba ang kanyang actions. Ganyan din po si Jesus. At kung up for debate pa rin yung tungkol sa existence ni Jesus Christ, then bakit walang Department of Classics or Department of Antiquity teaching Jesus probably did not exist? Why isn't this an issue at academic conference? You see, my friends, mga kapatid, mga kaibigan, the debate is not about whether Jesus existed. The real scholarly debates are about what exactly did Jesus teach, what exactly did Jesus claim, what is the historical reliability of each gospel tradition, and how do we interpret the resurrection claims. Yan po ang issue, mga kapatid. At saka, meron po tayong independent references at like Roman historians, Jewish sources, and early hostile witnesses. Hindi natin kailangang umasa sa Bible lang. And ironically, mas pinapatunayan pa ng mga kalaban ng Christianity noong 1st century ang existence ni Jesus. Kung wala talagang Jesus, bakit may crucified Messiah na pinagtatawanan ng mga Romano? At bakit gumawa ng embarrassing story ang early Christians? Guys, history does not work that way. Ngayon, tignan po natin yung sinabi niyang false dilemma lang daw, yung trilemma ni C.S. Lewis. The trilemma assumes existence, not argues for it. So, narito yung logical error ni Illusion. Hindi proof of existence yung tungkol dyan sa C.S. Lewis trilemma na yan. It is an evaluation of identity assuming existence. Parang ganito. Kung may taong nagsabing, ako ang Pangulo, pwede mong tanungin, nagsisinungaling ba siya? Delusional ba? O totoo yung claims niya? Hindi mo pwedeng sabihin, baka imagination ka lang kaya false dilemma. Changing the subject na yung ginawa ni Illusion yan. Okay? You see, yung trilemma na yan ni C.S. Lewis, it only applies if Jesus actually claimed to be God. And historically, he did. But you cannot dismiss the trilemma by claiming Jesus might not have existed. Kasi yung ganong claim ay parang sinasabi na the debate about Socrates' philosophy is not valid because he might not have existed. Parang ganon niya. Diba? So the trilemma stands precisely because Jesus' existence is a settled historical fact. Ngayon, alam niyo ba kung anong real false dilemma? Yung claim ng mga mythicists. Kasi ito yung problema. Sa Jewish mindset, ang Mesias ay victorious, hindi pinatay. At ang crucifixion ay curse. So bakit lilikha sila ng kwentong ikakahiya nila? And yet they're willing to die for it. People will die for what they believe is true, but not for what they know is a lie. Why would Jews invent a crucified Messiah? So, here, yung growing acceptance, X. Up for debate, X. False dilemma, X. Conclusion, the claim collapses under historical scrutiny. Hindi natin sasabi, maniwala kayo agad. No. Ang sabihin ko lang mang sa inyo, be honest with evidence. Kung ang base ng argument ay mali ng premise, kahit gaano pa tayo magyabang, babagsak yung lohika. So here's my challenge to everyone who are listening. If you want to reject Jesus, do it for the right reason, not for claims that are not supported by history. So, let's go to the second part.
Was Jesus
Let's go.
Hindi mo rin pwedeng ikumpara ang amount ng evidences na mayroon sina Alexander the Great at Julius Caesar. Not only na mayroong mga contemporary written accounts regarding them, pero highly supported ng archaeology ang kanilang existence. Meron tayong coins, statue, battle sites, ruins na nagpapatotoo na merong Alexander the Great and Julius Caesar na nag-exist. It is laughably incomparable to compare Jesus of Nazareth versus these well-established leaders.
So, ayan ang second claim niya. Okay? Laughable pa nga daw. So, 2 points sa claim ni Illusion. No? The evidence for Jesus cannot be compared to that of Alexander the Great and Julius Caesar. And there are contemporary accounts, archaeology, coins, statues, battle sites, and ruins. Ito po ay isa sa pinakakaraniwang argument ng mga skeptics at isa rin sa pinakamalinaw na logical error. In history, hindi lahat ng figures ay pareho ng uri ng evidence. You know what? Kung anong pinakamagandang tanong? Ano ang pinakamagandang explanation sa available evidence? So, is the standard of evidence the same? What does history really demand? At yung comparison ba niya na nagsasabi ni Ilu ay fair? Guys, doon pa lang guilty si Ilu sa tinatawag na category mistake fallacy. So may fallacy na po yung claim ni Ilu. There are different types of people there. Sina Alexander at Julius Caesar, mga emperor yan, mga political rulers yan. Pero si Jesus na taga Nazareth ay itinerant Jewish teacher yan, no government position. So ano yung key principle? Different roles, dahil different role, then different kind of evidence. Yan ang unang malaking problema ng claim ni Ilu yan. Kung hanapin mo kay Jesus ang coins, statues, government buildings, wow! Ibig sabihin, hindi niya naiintindihan kung sino po si Jesus historically. So, you're demanding evidence Jesus would never live. Kasi guys, logically flawed na yan. It's comparing leaders who had the state propaganda machine with a non-political Jewish preacher who was executed as a criminal. Pambihira, di ba? Guys, you see, dito tayo. Kung titingnan po natin, it's comparing leaders who had the state propaganda machine with a non-political Jewish preacher who was executed as a criminal. Tingnan nyo nga naman, sina Alexander the Great at si Julius Caesar. Matataas na mga rulers yan politically. Yan, no? Tingnan nyo. Si Alexander the Great, anak ng hari, ruler of an empire, commander of armies, minted coins with his face, had public statues, state architects, official chroniclers. Si Julius Caesar, diktador ng Roma, leader of the Roman armies, minted coins, had portraits made, had monuments built, and had official history writers. But when it comes to Jesus of Nazareth, isang Jewish carpenter, a rabbi, walang political office, wala siyang imperyo, wala siyang army, at siya ay na-execute as a criminal. Ministry lasted only 3 years and died in the most insignificant province of the empire. Pansinin nyo nga ito mga kapatid. Again, nag-commit din si Ilu sa tinatawag na category error na yan. Why on earth would Jesus have coins? Why would Jesus have statues? And why would Jesus have state-funded monuments? Ngayon, bakit kaya merong ganun sa mga political leaders noon? Why Alexander and Julius Caesar have archaeology? Siyempre, state-sponsored propaganda, political power, imperial economy, nation-building projects. Jesus had none of these. Ngayon, kung si Jesus ay walang army, walang treasury, walang political office, then why on earth would we expect coins with his face? Parang ganito, nasaan ang calling card ni Socrates? Ay naku, pambihira. Kumbaga, ano nag-expect ba sila? Are they expecting a Jewish rabbi in a rural village without political power, without military status, without government backing, and was executed by the Romans to have the same archaeological footprint as emperors, generals, conquerors, rulers of massive states? Frankly speaking, this is historically naive as in elementary level misunderstanding of ancient history. Instead, ano yung tinitingnan ng mga historiador? Well, you see, Jesus has more early historical writings than almost any first century figure who was not a politician or general. Meanwhile, most Roman emperors have only one or two sources. Most generals have one primary biography. Most philosophers have zero contemporary records. But to Jesus, ang dami. More than 5,000 pa nga sa Greek. At more than 21,000 pa sa iba pang mga writings. Ngayon, how about contemporary sources? That's a misleading phrase. Bakit? Reality check lang po tayo. There are almost no contemporary manuscripts of ancient figures. And most are later copies of earlier sources. Okay? So, contemporary writing is not equals on surviving contemporary manuscript. Ito ang madalas na nililito ng mga skeptics. Halimbawa, walang original manuscript ni Julius Caesar, walang diary si Alexander the Great na hawak natin ngayon. What do we have are the later copies of earlier sources. Ganito rin ang case kay Jesus. And by the way, ordinary rabbis are not expected to leave coins, statues, or even monuments. Pambihira. Ngayon, kung ikukumpara kay dun sa writings or biographies ni na Julius Caesar, Alexander the Great, and to Jesus of Nazareth, may mga differences. What do I mean by that? Sila Alexander the Great, earliest biographies 400 years later. Julius Caesar made accounts written after his death. But Jesus Christ, ang mga sources, within 20 to 60 years, buhay pa po noon ang mga eyewitness testimonies. So, mas maaga ang sources kay Jesus kaysa kay Alexander. Ngayon, kung tatanggihan natin si Jesus dahil late daw yung sources, then kailangan din natin itapon ang kalahati ng ancient history. And if you reject the New Testament, because of that, you've just rejected ancient history. Ngayon, ano naman sa issue ng archaeology? What it can and cannot do. So, ano yung nagagawa ng archaeology? Kinukumpirma yung mga lugar, yung mga tao sa power, o political power, and yet, yes, cultural context. What it rarely does is to prove existence of non-political individuals. You see, archaeology rarely proves individuals, lalo na kung hindi sila rulers. Wala tayong bahay ni Plato, wala tayong skeleton ni Socrates, wala tayong personal artifact ni Hillel the Elder. Pero walang historiador ang nagsasabing hindi sila umiiral. At kung titingnan natin sa mga evidence concerning Christ, meron po tayo nito. I have just mentioned that. You can see it for yourselves, my friends. But wait, even Caesar and Alexander have less manuscript evidence. Tingnan nyo nga, yung writings about Julius Caesar, 10 manuscripts, Plato, 7, Tacitus, 2, Herodotus, 8. Ikumpara nyo sa New Testament, na may 5,800 mahigit na Greek manuscripts, 10,000 sa Latin, and more than 20,000 other ancient manuscripts. So Jesus has better manuscript evidence than almost every figure in antiquity. At anong kinukumpirma dito ng archaeology concerning Jesus in the Gospels? Nazareth existed. Dati yung mga mythicists noon, they claim na wala raw Nazareth noon. Pero we've got evidence based on the first century houses, mikvaot discovered, Jewish tombs, and synagogue remains. Napatunayan na merong nag-exist na Pontius Pilate, na si Caiaphas ay nag-exist. Yung practice ng crucifixion, yan yung nangyari kay Yehohanan. Sinagoga sa Galilee, Pool of Siloam, Pool of Bethesda, Erastus inscription, and Gallio inscription. Ngayon, dito papasok yung double standards ng mga skeptics na nag-argue na Jesus allegedly did not exist. Yan nyo. Kung pareho ang standard, apply Caesar level skepticism to Caesar. Apply Jesus level skepticism to Jesus. Pero anong ginagawa ng mga Meticists and other atheists? They accept Caesar with minimal scrutiny but reject Jesus despite multiple sources. So, ang ginagawa ng mga skeptics, including mga atheists, ay tinatawag na selective skepticism. In short, may bias ang mga taong ito. Grabe kay Christmas, sige, ang pagsasabing Christmas was a pagan holiday, keme-keme. Pambihira. Paano naman mga battle sites and ruins? Kung may battle site si Alexander, dahil may battles, syempre may laban siya. Kaso, we know that Jesus walked, preached, teach. Hindi nagpatay ng fortresses ang mga rabbis. So, ang paghingi ng battle sites kay Jesus ay, historically illiterate. And as I pointed out, meron po tayong minimal historical criteria dyan. Multiple independent sources, enemy testimony, early attestation, embarrassing details. Yang mga yan, Jesus meets all four. Yan ang standard ng kasaysayan, hindi po YouTube and TikTok standards. At halos lahat ng professional historians kasama ng mga atheists, they affirm that Jesus existed. And if Jesus were a nobody, then if Jesus were a nobody who left no writings, then why did hundreds of Jews abandon sacred traditions overnight? Thousands proclaim him risen within weeks of his death. Hostile witnesses acknowledge him. Christianity rapidly spread in the first century, and pagans, Jews, and Romans mention him. My friends, a fictional person cannot start a historical movement with hostile witnesses confirming him. At kung titingnan po natin yung false assumption, no? Yung more archaeology, it means more real. Ang totoo, archaeology supports power, not truth claim. Supporting evidence lamang ang archaeology, hindi po primary proof of existence. So, now, using mga kaibigan, itong historical irony, guys. Jesus left no monuments, yet changed history more than emperors. So, how did a nobody from Nazareth do this? Paanong itong Jewish rabbi na ito, na walang army, walang political power, at walang architecture, pero nagbago ang kalendaryo, ethics, at civilization? So, to review, yung mga claim ni Ilu, yung coins and statues, irrelevant yan. Archaeology, misused. Contemporary sources, misunderstood. So, ano ang ating pasya? Category mistake at double standards. So, may challenge po tayo sa mga critics ngayon. Apply the same rules to everyone and see who stays standing. So guys, if you want to reject Jesus, gawin mo yun sa patas na kaparaanan. Pero, kung kailangan mong gawin palitan ng standards, itaas ang bar, i-ignore ang scholarship, then, hindi si Jesus ang problema. Ang problema mo ay ang method. Let's go.
The first time Jesus was supposedly mentioned outside of the Bible was 60 to 70 years after his death, and it was by Josephus.
Huh? Josephus? Or Josephus?
The first
Pero yun kasi yung sa subtitle Giuseppe. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Tingnan yung claims niya. No? Jesus is laughably incomparable compared to well-established leaders. Yung kanina, the first mention of Jesus outside the Bible is 60 to 70 years later. At ito daw ay kay Giuseppe or Josephus, I mean. But is the timeline correct? Is the source attribution correct? Is the comparison method valid? Again, isang maling detalye lang ay kayang pabagsakin ang buong argument. Kaya hindi muna tayo magkukonclude. No? Siyempre, ipinpoint natin, hindi po Giuseppe o Josephus yata. Josephus yan. Flavius Josephus. No? Ngayon, kailan nagsulat si Josephus? Ang Antiquities of the Jews ay naisulat AD 93 to 94. Okay? While the crucifixion of Jesus was happened on 30 or 33 AD. So may gap ng 60 years. But is that late in ancient history standards? Spoilers alert, hindi po. Sabi kasi ni Ilu, Josephus wrote 60 to 70 years after Jesus' death. Pero mali siya. Yung Jewish War nangyari AD 75. Ang Antiquities of the Jews, AD 93 to 94. When Jesus was crucified, AD 30. So, Josephus writes about Jesus approximately hindi po 60 to 70 years, kundi 45 years later and 63 to 64 years later. So, yes, partly correct naman yung point niya dun. Kaso nga lang, dito babagsak ang claim ni Ilu. In ancient historiography, 60 years is considered very, very close. Almost all ancient biographies are written 100 to 400 years after the fact. At kung titingnan po natin yung reality check, ayan. So, 60 years is actually early. Yung biography ni Alexander the Great, naisulat 400 years later. Yung kay Socrates, written by students decades later. Yung kay Hannibal, main sources written generations later. And here's the irony sa mga skeptics dyan. Ang ginagamit na standard para i-reject si Jesus ay standard na tatanggi rin kina Alexander at Socrates. And by the way, hindi lamang si Josephus lang yan, ha? Okay? Meron pa tayong mga non-Christian sources like kay Tacitus, Pliny the Younger, Lucian of Samosata, you name it. Ito ang madalas na ini-ignore ng mga mythicists. Hindi lang isang source yan. Hindi lang Christian source lang. At hindi rin friendly kay Jesus. Enemy testimony is a gold. You see, bukod kay Josephus na nag-mention kay Jesus twice, he mentioned James, the brother of Jesus, he mentions John the Baptist, and he mentioned early Christians. Si Tacitus writes in Annals 15.44, ang sabi, Jesus was executed under Pontius Pilate, Tiberius was emperor, and Christianity spread rapidly. By the way, si Tacitus, ayaw niya sa mga Kristiyano, pero inaffirm niyan yung nangyaring pagkapako kay Jesus sa krus. Pliny the Younger writes that Christians worship Jesus as God. Christianity is spreading. Christians were willing to die rather than denying Him. How about Suetonius? He mentions disturbances in Rome at the instigation of Crassus. Babylonian Talmud mentions Jesus as being executed for sorcery and leading Israel astray. Wow! Tingnan nyo nga naman yung timeline comparison. At kung maging honest po tayo, mas maaga ang sources kay Jesus kaysa sa marami pang well-established leaders. Kaya yung sinasabing laughably incomparable ay baliktad sa data. Meron tayong mga sulatin ni Apostle Paul, yung pre-Pauline Creed, like in 1 Corinthians 15:3-7, na i-state na yan 3 to 5 years after that time that Jesus was crucified. And yes, meron tayong Q source, Luke's prologue, early Roman records before Josephus. So, Josephus is not the first external reference to Jesus Christ. Ngayon, listen to this. May hidden assumption dyan na ginagawa ng mga skeptic friends natin. Ito ang methodological error nila. Hindi tinatanggal ng historians ang sources dahil lang religious sila. Andun kasing tanong ng kasaysayan, kailan isinulat, sinong sumulat, ilang manuscripts, may corroboration ba? At sa criteria na ito, ang New Testament ay exceptionally strong. Guys, Jesus was a rural rabbi from a poor family with no political office, executed as a criminal outside Rome's power centers. Yet within 2 decades, his movement rapidly spread across the Roman Empire. You know what emperors did not get? Multiple independent sources within 20 years of their deaths. But Jesus did. So you see, my friends, how could an explosive movement exist without a founder? Kung si Jesus ay myth lang, sino ang pinako sa krus? At sino ang pinangaralan ng mga apostles? Bakit alam ng mga Romano kung sino siya? History requires causal explanation. And as we reviewed, ayan ang scholarly consensus po natin, Jesus of Nazareth existed and he was crucified under Pontius Pilate. Alam niyo kung saan yung disagreement? Theology, not existence. Okay? To conclude, inaccurate yung Josephus niya. Giuseppe kasi na nabasa sa subtitle. Yung too late, ito ay false by ancient standards. So, anong verdict natin? The claim collapses under historical scrutiny. Hindi natin sinasabi na maniwala kayo agad. Ang ating sinasabi, huwag mong baguhin ang rules para lang i-reject si Jesus. Kasi kung patas ang standards, mananatili ang historical Jesus. So here's our challenge to every skeptic here. Are you willing to pay the price for your own standard? Kasi if you reject Jesus using these rules, you must reject ancient history with him. Let's go.
The time frame is too unbelievable to be taken seriously. Kahit mga disciples or even existence of Paul is questioned by many scholars like Thomas Brody.
So, ayan, unbelievable daw. Kine-question pang existence na Peter, Paul, James, you name it. Namanggit niya yung sinasabi niya si Thomas Brody. And here's my question. Sino ba tong many scholars ang tinutukoy ni Ilu? Was he talking about Robert Price, Richard Carrier, and other TikTokers like, yes, that Ben Kai? Oh, 2 claims ni Ilu. The time frame is too unbelievable to be taken seriously, and even the disciples or even existence of Paul have been questioned by many scholars such as Thomas Brody. Oh, ito key questions po natin. Too unbelievable for by what standard? Many scholars. Oh, really? At sino ba tong Thomas Brody? Sa logic, hindi po sapat ang assertion. Kapag sinabing unbelievable, linawin natin. Tanong ko lang. Para kanino? Ayon sa anong method? Kasi kung ang premise ay malabo, bagsak ang conclusion. Now, what time frame are we talking about? Tingnan niyo po yung Christian origins timeline natin. Crucifixion happened on AD 30 to 33. Early creeds, like in 1 Corinthians 15, AD 30 to 35. Paul's letters, AD 48 to 65. And the gospel accounts, 60 to 90. My friends, this is early by ancient history standards. Sa ancient world kasi, listen, Walang printing press noon. Mabagal ang komunikasyon. Yet, ang Jesus tradition ay lumitaw within years, hindi po centuries. Legends need time, and we don't have it here. Isa pa, napaka-early, kumbaga yan. In ancient history, 40 years is early, 60 years is normal, 100 to 300 years is common, 400 years is still used by historians. Like kay Alexander the Great, kay Buddha, kay Confucius, kay Homer, kay Pythagoras. Yung mga yan, ang tagal-tagal. 300 to 450 years later, yung kanilang mga biographies. And yet, historians treat them as real. So the claim that the time frame of Jesus is allegedly too unbelievable, according to Illusion, is historically illiterate. Yikes! Ngayon, tingnan natin. Yung sinabi niyang unbelievable, aba, hindi po yung argumento. Logical clarification 101. Psychological disbelief is not historical refutation, at yung pagsasabing I don't believe it is not meaning, it's not mean. It did not happen. Tinatanong tayo dito, what best explains the data? And guys, you see, maraming bagay sa kasaysayan ang unbelievable. Tingnan nyo, isang obscure rabbi na pinatay. Tapos yung mga followers niya ay handang mamatay. Movement na lumaganap sa hostile empire, pero hindi tinatanggihan ng mga historiador ang isang event dahil surprising ito. Okay? So kaya yung claim niya na yung time frame unbelievable, it does not just fail, it reverses reality. Jesus has the best time frame of any major ancient religious figure. And by the way, reality check tayo. Sinabi kasi ni Ilo, marami daw mga scholars ang nag-question tungkol sa existence ni Apostle Paul. Misinformation na yan, bro. Misinformation. Why? Ang existence ni Apostle Paul ay isa sa pinakasolidong facts ng ancient history. Now, if you deny Paul, kailangan mong ipaliwanag yung mga letters niya, ang consistency ng theology, ang early church references, at walang seryosong scholar ang gumagawa nito. You see, they all agree, Kristiyano, atheist, Jewish, secular, they all agree that Paul existed, the disciples existed, Christianity began in Jerusalem, Paul persecuted Christians and converted Paul, and Paul wrote at least 7 authentic letters. Sino ba itong mga ekspertong to na nagpapatunay na si Apostle Paul ay nag-exist naman? Bart Ehrman, Paula Fredrickson, E.P. Sanders, Geza Vermes, John Dominic Crossan, Gerd Ludemann. They all accept Paul and the disciples as historical. Now, how about mythicists? These are not mainstream, not respected in academia. And by the way, hindi namin pa nga ni Richard, sino ba? Hindi si Richard Carrier ang umamin. I don't know kung si Richard Carrier o Robert Price. But they admitted na hindi sila mainstream. Hindi sila, tawag dito? Hindi ko maano. Basta nandun yun, pasensya na. Alam niyo naman, madaling araw pa. These are not mainstream and not respected in academia. Richard Carrier, okay, PhD, pero rejected by scholars. Robert Price, sabi former Christian daw siya, pero fringe. And yes, Thomas Brody, dismissed by his own religious order. So this group is very tiny. Paano naman daw nauso yung Jesus did not exist na yan? Siyempre, internet blogs, TikTok, YouTube, blew up. Pambihira. Siyempre, yan, nabanggit ko na yung mga internet skeptics ba? Yan yung mga TikTok, YouTube, pseudo-historians. They cite mythicists, not historians. And guess which group Ilu is quoting? Group B and C. One fringe dissenting voice does not overturn thousands of credentialed historians. Ngayon, pag-usapan natin si Thomas Brody. Okay? Siya ay Dominican priest. Dominican priest, meron siya pong tinatawag na literary dependence theory. And by the way, fringe position sa scholarship. So, citing a fringe scholar is not equal to scholarly consensus. Ngayon, baka sasabihin na naman, wala tinatanggihan yung consensus kasi karamihan naman mga Kristiyano. But as I have already presented, kanina lang, may mga skeptic scholars din na nagsasabing Jesus did exist, right? Hindi masama na mag-cite ng minority view. Alam niyo kung anong masama? Pag pinapakita mo itong majority. So, ang nangyari, dun sa video na iniilo doon, at sa iba pang mga videos na napanood ko from some random internet skeptics, katulad ni That Ben guy, appeal to authority fails when authority is not representative. Si Thomas Brody kasi, isolated, rejected by mainstream New Testament scholarship, hindi sinusundan ng academic community. And frankly speaking, si Brody ay hindi naman talaga historiador eh. Siya ay biblical literary theorist who proposes that the New Testament is fiction modeled after Old Testament texts. But here's the kicker. His own religious order, yung mga Dominicano, his own religious order remove him from teaching. Remove him, inalis siya doon. His academic peers reject his methodology. At by the way, even atheists, his scholars reject his conclusions. Yikes! Kaya yung argumento ni Thomas Brody na Paul's letters are literally creations, not historical documents. My friends, Paul's letters contain multiple personal details historians use to verify authenticity, like yung names, locations, travel routes, political officials, dates, local customs, financial arrangements, personal conflicts, co-writers, greetings to specific people, legal cases, missionary journeys. Yung mga yan, these elements would be pointless, unnecessary, and counterproductive if the Apostle Paul were fictional. This is why no historian of the Greco-Roman world believed Paul was fictional. Not one, zero, nada. How about yung claim na yung mga disciples daw, posibleng hindi, baka, kini-question daw yung existence niya. Oh, guys, debated details is not equals to denied existence. At a mainstream view, core disciples of Christ existed, some martyrdoms debated, names and roles historically grounded. Tingnan niyo yung pattern ng mga skeptics. Kunin ang debate about the details, i-present ito na parang denial ng existence. But history, ang kasaysayan mismo, walang debate kung may disciples. Ang debate dyan, alin ang historical traditions. Yang ginagawang yan, yung kung alin ang historical traditions, yan ay normal scholarship. So if you want to see what a scholarly beating looks like, check it out. Palagay ko napadaan dito si Ilo. Ilo, sana meron kang book na ganito. I-review mo naman. Ito. And tell me, what can you say about this book from Bart Ehrman? By the way, enemy po siya ng Christian faith, and yet he wrote this book. Meron nga siyang debate with Robert Price about the topic, did Jesus exist? O, yamang Pasko ngayon, we can watch that. Okay? Alam niyo ba yung posisyon ni Brody according to Bart Ehrman? He calls Brody's arguments lacking historical awareness, misusing literary parallels, methodologically irresponsible and extreme fringe. At syempre meron pa tayong early creeds na nagwawasak sa too fast objection nito. Yan, pre-Pauline Creed yan, dated within 2 to 5 years after the crucifixion of Jesus. So, nung implikasyon na yan sa kasaysayan, core beliefs are immediate, not legendary. Hindi ito isinulat ni Paul originally. Tinanggap niya ito. So, bago pa siya mag-convert, umiiral na ang resurrection belief. Legends don't form that fast, especially in hostile environments. Now, comparison, no? Other figures. Yung kay Buddha, traditions centuries later. Kay Alexander the Great, biographies centuries later. Romulus, mythicized immediately. But in Christianity, early, controlled, eyewitness link tradition. So here's the irony. Kung consistency ang basehan natin, mas credible ang Jesus movement kaysa sa maraming tinatanggap na ancient figures. Pero si Jesus lang ang sinabihang too unbelievable. Guys, napakinggan niyo naman yung punto ni Ilu. Napaka-unbelievable naman daw yung time frame about Christ. Alam niyo kung anong lumalabas diyan? Bias. O baka sabihin, kayo mga Kristiyano naman, bias naman din. Pero hindi po yung issue kung may bias ka. Ang issue, kung totoo yon. And by the way, you see guys, let me quote some about Paul as historical. Bart Ehrman says, anyone who doubts Paul's existence is simply not doing serious history. Maurice Cassie says, mythicism is not scholarship. Paula Fredrickson says, no one doubts Paul's existence. His letters are the earliest Christian documents. Graham Clark, sabi niya, we have far better sources for Paul than for most figures of antiquity. Okay? Ngayon, tingnan niyo po, doon po lalabas ang isang problema sa mga skeptics, lalo sa mga mythicists na tumatanggi sa existence ni Jesus Christ. Okay? May hidden assumption kasi. No? If you assume that there's no God, if you assume that there's no supernatural, then kahit gaano kaagang source, they will go on to reject it continually. If you rule out miracles beforehand, you're not doing history, you're doing philosophy. So to end this up, yung too unbelievable, ito ay subjective lang. Many scholars deny Paul, false yan. Si Thomas Brody, fringe authority. Conclusion, the claim fails historically and logically. Hindi natin sinasabing lahat malinaw. Siyempre may mga debates yan, normal yan. Pero, here's what we are saying here. Hindi binubura ng debates and discussions ang existence ni na Apostle Paul at ng mga disipulo. At lalong hindi nito ginagawang unbelievable ang timeline. So, to end this up, here's my question to the skeptics. At dahil napadaan naman si Ilu kanina, tanong ko sa'yo, if you reject this, are you ready to reject all of ancient history? Now, let's go to the last objection that Illusion had presented.
So was Jesus a liar, a lunatic, a lord, or a legend? The most likely explanation is that Jesus of Nazareth, along with the disciples, based on the absence of contemporary evidences, is probably a legend.
Wow. So, according to him, legend lang si Jesus dahil wala raw contemporary evidence. Oh, ito yung kanyang three claims, no? The most likely explanation is legend. Bakit daw? Absence of contemporary evidence. Pero wait, what does legend mean in history? Is there really an absence of evidence? And is the legend option really the most likely? Ito yung culminating claim ni Ilu at ng iba pang mga fringe guys na legend hypothesis di umano. Kung ito'y totoo, dapat mas simple, mas explanatory, mas consistent sa data. At kung hindi, bagsak ito sa historical reasoning. O, defining terms muna tayo mga kapatid. What is a legend? Sa historical studies, guys, historical studies pa lang tayo mga kapatid. Ito ay slow development, appears after generations, Walang eyewitness control and grows over time. Key point. Legends need time. Hindi mo pwedeng gamitin ang salitang legend na parang magic word. Sa kasaysayan, late yan, hindi po early. Vague, hindi specific. Walang named witnesses. Tanong. Pasok po ba ang Jesus tradition? Ito yung timeline, no? Nakita niyo na. Yung crucifixion ni Jesus nangyari AD 30 or AD 33. Early Creed, AD 30 to 35. Paul's letters, AD 48 to AD 65. Gospel accounts, AD 60 to AD 90. So, this is too early for legend. So, yung mga core beliefs about Jesus Christ, umiral na po yan within years. Within years po yan. Hindi po centuries. So, there's no time for the legend to develop. Paano naman yung sinasabi ni Ilo na absence of contemporary evidence? Ang ganda sana kung napanood nga ni Ilo yan ng buo. Sayang, dumaan lang siya then wala na. Clarification. There are almost no contemporary, sorry for my tongue. There are almost no contemporary manuscripts in the ancient world. Now, what really matters here is early sources, not original autographs. So, here's the reality. Jesus has early and multiple sources. Ngayon, yung sinabi ni Ilo na absence of contemporary evidence, mandarayang claim yan. Misleading phrase. Kung gagamitin natin yan consistency, then, mawawala si Alexander, si Socrates, mawawala ang karamihan ng ancient figures. My friends, history does not demand selfies in videos. And as you can see, Jesus is attested by Paul, Synoptic Gospels, John, and other non-Christian writings. Kaya yung multiple attestation, wasak ang legend claims. Guys, legends usually come from one stream, one community, one tradition. But for Jesus, we've got multiple independent sources, even hostile sources as well. That's not how legends behave. Tingnan nyo naman mga examples ng mga embarrassing details. Actually, naipakita ko na yan sa live ko kanina, yung first live ko ba, na yung si Kristo na ipinako sa krus na kinukonsiderang Jewish scandal yan. Yung mga disipulo ay na-portray bilang mga duwag. Women as first witnesses on the resurrection, na kung talagang legend yan or whatever, lalaki dapat ang first witnesses, pero hindi. And yes, andyan yung Peter denying Jesus, so embarrassment argues for authenticity. Ngayon guys, kung gagawa ka ng legend, hindi ka mag-imbento ng kahihiyan ng mga yan. But Christianity begins with failure, shame, and execution. So, hindi yan alamat. Paano naman tong eyewitness control problem na yan? Tingnan nyo kasi. Ang early Christianity ay naituro publicly. Kasama na po yung mga buhay pang mga nakasaksi. Kasama na po yung mga hostile audiences. So, how do legends survive correction? Ang legend, madaling maitama yan kapag may buhay pang witnesses. Sa Jerusalem mismo, pinangaral ang resurrection, may access ang critics sa tomb, may Romans and Jews to refute it. But the movement rapidly spread. Ngayon, legend theory cannot explain the following: transformation of disciples, willingness to suffer, and consistent proclamation. People may die for a belief they believe is true, but not for what they know is legend. Ngayon, kung alam ito ng mga taong ito na legend lang yan, sino ang unang magbaback out? Sino ang unang magsasabing invento lang yan? Kaso walang recantations. Ang tinanggap ng mga Kristiyano noong 1st century to 3rd, persecution. Legends don't produce martyrs this early. Ngayon, bisitahin uli natin yung liar, lunatic lord, or legend na yan. Legend option requires late sources, anonymous development, no eyewitnesses, and no hostile corroboration. In conclusion, legend is the least likely explanation. Least. Kaya, ironically, ang sinasabing most likely ay siya palang pinakaproblemado. Kaya, hindi po wasak ang C.S. Lewis trilemma. Bagsak ang legend, so to speak. And yet, this guy who claimed to be so-called king of logic, na kanina napadaan lang sa livestream natin, siya pa ang may audacity na tawagin akong C.S. Lewis fanatic. Yikes. Kaya tingnan niyo po yung ugat ng legend claim. Kung automatic mong dinedeny ang supernatural, listen to this. Kahit gaano man kaagang evidence, magiging legend pa rin nito para sa'yo. Or what? Sorry for my voice. Bigla akong nag-crack yung boses ko. No? Now and then, if you rule out God beforehand, don't pretend you're following the evidence. And to review what mainstream scholars actually say. Jesus existed. He was crucified. Early followers believe He rose from the dead. So yan ang consensus. Ang pinag-usapan na lamang dyan ay ito. Ano ba talaga yung, did Jesus really claim to be God? Yan yung mga ganyan. Or did Jesus rise from the dead? Ang legend theory, fringe, internet popular, academically weak. Hindi ito ang posisyon ng mainstream scholarship. To sum up, yung absence of evidence, mandaraya, mapandaya na claim. Legend, historically implausible. Most likely, least explanatory. Therefore, the legend hypothesis that Ilu wants us to accept fails badly. So, guys, hindi ko kailangan sabihin sa inyo na maniwala kayo agad. Ang sinasabi natin, huwag mong piliin ang weakest explanation. Kaya, kung legend ito, and if the answer is not denial, I mean, kung hindi to legend, kung hindi yan alamat, at kung ang answer ay hindi po denial, sino talaga si Jesus? Kasi Christianity did not win because it was convenient. It won because it was proclaimed as true. Yan pong tandaan natin, mga kapatid. Kung titingnan po natin mabuti, mga kapatid, mga kaibigan, bakit natin naging topic itong tungkol sa existence ni Jesus of Nazareth? It is because of Ilu. Okay? Kasi, meron po siyang naging challenge before. 3 to 4 months ago, siya mismong nag-challenge sa akin ng isang diskusyon about these facts. I prepared, naglaan ako ng time, even today. Even this guy told me na ako raw ay obsessed Christ defender. I even don't care. Ngayon, nung time na nagkaroon na kami ng diskusyon, puro excuses na lang. Puro insults, puro memes. Kaya ito na ba talagang pinakamalakas na case na magpapatunay that Jesus did not really exist according to the said fringe group? You see, when ridicule replaces reason, it usually means reason has run out. Hindi lang siya You see guys, kung ipapabasa ko po lahat-lahat yung mga comments niya before, even yung latest, like he called me OCD or obsessed Christ defender, pangutya na yun, mga kapatid. Pangutya na lang. He even called me C.S. Lewis and Lee Strobel fanatic. Siyempre, isa-isa po nating sinuri yung scholarship, timeline, sources, and methodology. Okay? At pinatunayan po natin dyan, reality check, pinatunayan po natin na bawat claim niya, bagsak na bagsak. under scrutiny. Ngayon, Ilo, if you're watching this, listen. You already presented this challenge to me. And until today, hanggang ngayon, seryoso pa rin ako sa pag-study nito. And if Christianity is true, would you become a Christian? Ganun lang yun. At saka, kung false ang Christianity, napakadali lamang itong i-refute, right? 3 centuries of atheism and skepticism. If Jesus was just a myth, dapat matagal na itong patay. But until now, aminin man ito ni Ilo at ng iba pang mga skeptics o hindi, hanggang ngayon pinag-usapan pa rin natin to. Diba? Okay, gusto kong tapusin to sa lahat po ng mga nanonood po sa atin. Lalo po ngayong araw na to, especially Christmas season po ngayon. Ang araw na to, Christmas Day, ito po ang imbitasyon sa bawat isa sa atin. Christianity invites investigation. Skepticism must be honest, and truth wins by evidence, not ego. If Jesus existed, if He is real, if He lived, died on the cross, and on the third day He rose again from the dead, bukod sa mga tanong na if God exists, no? If God exists, if Jesus rose from the dead, game over. Christianity is true.